Hi, I'm Dermietzel, and this is episode 3 of my video series documenting my bodybuilding progress. As many of you will know, my recent blogs have been documenting my progress between when I started the videos and my show in September 25th this year. I was all set, ready to go, and my progress was on track and everything was looking good. But as you can see, I've had a bit of a problem since. Early this week, on Monday, I had quite a bad car accident. And I came out of it relatively unscathed. I've just got an injured shoulder. It's not broken, it's just really damaged tendons and ligaments, etc. But it's going to heal and repair. But obviously with me being not far from my show, it leaves me in a bit of a unusual position in what I'm going to do. As I said, my diet and everything was on track, and I was looking just where I needed to be for my show. And whilst it's not a serious injury, being a bit of a perfectionist, I'm considering perhaps just focusing my attention on training and getting better and getting my strength back, etc., and carrying on over to the year after, where I can come in bigger and stronger and more conditioned. I'm still considering entering the show. Haven't ruled it out. As I said, it's only been 5 days or so since the accident, and there is still, I've still got movement in it. I've got it in a sling just to take some of the pressure off it when it hangs down, but I can move it around and I can still pick things up and things like that, so it's not completely paralysed or useless at the moment. I've been doing what I can. I've still been dieting, and I've still been doing cardio. I'm trying not to let it get me down. So I did a leg session today. I did what I could without hurting my shoulder too much. I wasn't always wearing the sling, only when I felt like it was getting painful, so picking the weights up and stuff was a bit difficult at times. But I can just about do it. I'm not doing any upper body. Sometimes I think I probably can do something, but I'm trying to be preemptive and just trying not to put any excess strain on it at the moment. So I'm just doing legs. I might be able to do arms in a couple of days, and like I said, still doing my cardio and my diet, which is pretty much the same, except I have brought the carbohydrates up a little bit just to allow for the fact that I don't want to lose any muscle or anything like that, and just to try and almost cheer myself up a bit, because low carbohydrates was making me feel a little bit miserable with my bipolar, which I mentioned last week as well. And the combination of the car accident, a bad arm, and the low carbs was a little bit too much for me to deal with, so I brought the carbs up and just trying to rest the shoulder up. So just might as well tell you a little bit about what happened. It was Monday about 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was driving to Starport, and can't really remember too much about what happened, but I do remember coming around the corner, possibly travelling about 50 miles an hour, I think, and it skidded off on the wet tarmac and went into the left side of the hedge. Took out about 12 metres or so of metal fence, and it, from what I remember, it flipped upside down vertical, went back into the road, skidded on its roof before kind of bar rolling maybe once or twice, and it wasn't a very nice ordeal, to be honest. It was very really scary, and but I think I might have lost consciousness very briefly, and emergency services arrived not long after. I think a passerby had seen and called, and there were people outside the car. I just don't really remember him being there because I was panicked and a little bit spaced out, but the emergency services managed to get me out of the back window of the car. A lot of the car was all crumpled and smashed in, so it was tight in there. It was only a small car, it was only a Renault Megane, and I was pushed for space as it is in there. So you know, once it had been crushed, I was very limited to what space I had, and I was somewhat trapped. I wasn't pinned or crushed or anything, but I couldn't move due to my shoulder as well. So he got me out the back, and I went to Worcester A&E, and fortunately it's not broken, despite the paramedics on scene thinking that it would be. Strangely enough, that's probably the only thing I could think of. I was annoyed about my car, really quite upset about my shoulder, knowing probably that it was going to be broken and that I was going to be out of training and prep for my show in September. But since then I've had time to reflect, and I've seen, you know, the pictures of the car, and I've been back to collect valuables from the car at the time, and looking at it again, I was, you know, it's clear to see that I was pretty lucky to get out alive, and emergency services and, you know, paramedics and nurses in the hospital all agreed that I was very fortunate to get out of that with just a damaged shoulder. So I've got to be grateful for that. And so rather than getting too depressed about it, I've had a lot of lovely comments from friends and family and people on my page and stuff, trying to encourage me to not be too disheartened about it, because it could be worse. And I'm up and walking, and I'm already back training, doing legs, and I'm still, as I said before, dieting and doing my cardio. So I'm trying to stay dedicated and committed and try not to let anything get me down on that. So I'm just focusing on getting this better and carrying on training. So yeah, that's that really. I would say that I would still love to do the show if I could, but being a perfectionist, I don't know whether I'm going to be happy going in there, knowing that I've had a couple of weeks of mediocre training, just going through the motions, because I'm not really the kind of person that likes to do that. It has to be all or nothing, and if I don't place as high as I wanted, like I said, I did want to win. I expected to get top 3, and I was going in there expecting to win it, looking at the condition I'm in now and looking at what I was last year, and looking at the competitors from last year as well. I think I've made massive improvements, and so, you know, I still may enter. I've got, you know, several weeks left, and I'm still dieting, as I said, so who knows. But the chances are I'm probably going to skip this show. It's going to be a knock to my pride. You know, I am going to feel like I've let people down, because I know how much, you know, they knew it meant to me. And like a lot of these things, you know, competing and everything like that, it is for me. But as I mentioned in my previous thing as well about feeling like I'm achieving something with my life as opposed to it just passing me by, a lot of the competition edge to it is to make other people proud, and to, you know, to show them I can do something, and prove that I can. And I did it last year. You know, I came in looking really good last year, and I was really happy with the, you know, finish result. And so this year was really about winning it, and I knew that I probably could. I did expect to in some respects, but if I can't do it, I can't do it, and I know that, you know, people, friends and family and those that love me, etc., will understand, and they do understand. So if I don't compete, basically my priorities now are just getting back and coming back stronger and bigger for next year. So that's my plan, that's what I aim to do.